I was hiding money. And if it's my money, I haven't stolen it. Isn't it my business to do what I want with it?
Do you know what you have?
Well, I have a ballpark figure, yes.
And you know where it is, and you have control of it?
Well, like I was saying, it's my business, and no one else should worry about how much money I have. No one should worry about how much Donald Trump has. I never asked how much he has. I never asked how much the Rockefellers or the Rothschilds have, or Magic Johnson, any athlete by that. Nobody asks about that. Why all of a sudden they want to worry about me by putting me in a situation? Because the fact is, they can't take away, which I know, that I'm a great fighter. So they say, God, he's a great fighter. People admire him for that.
You've said, though, that if you did run for president, you believe you'd win.
Well, I don't know. I think I'd win. I tell you what, I wouldn't go in to lose. I've never gone in to lose in my life. And if I did decide to do it, I think I'd be inclined. I would say that I would have a hell of a chance of winning.
But listen, I don't expect anybody who put me in prison, if someone puts me in here, and the more polite I am to them and the kindness, the more I lay back, that's not going to make them take their foot off their neck. That's going to make you want to crush them more. If you're in a fight with somebody and you hurt them, the objective of the fight is not to back off and let them recoup. The objective is to smash into oblivion.
But the law says if you made a mistake, you rescind.
Whose law said that? The law of the United States?
Yeah.
Or who controls the law of the United States?
Legislatures?
Yeah, legislators that have their whole own agenda. Laws mean nothing. You give me the currency of a country and you can make all the rules in the world. And that's all that matters. Who's in control?
Money.
Yeah, what about it?
What does money mean to you?
Paper blood.
Paper blood?
Yeah, I don't know. It's just, I don't know. It's just, Eventually, I got rid of them, and then I got caught up with this other piece of shit, Don King, who's just a wretched, slimy, reptilian motherfucker. The greatest country in the world, man. This is America, baby. Right, this is supposed to be my brother, my black brother. Right, he's just a bad man. He's a real bad man. He abused you, and he would kill his mother for $1. He's ruthless, he's deplorable, he doesn't know how to love anybody.
at it that way. I've never been really a money type of guy that put a great emphasis on it. You know, I never really, I come very from a broke background, so I never really had great emphasis. I never really learned the art of handling money as a kid. You know, that's an art. That's why only a few people maintain it, because it's an art, and I never possessed it at that time.
I wish 50 Cent the best luck in the world in this endeavor that he's doing. But this is something that 50 Cent has to know. That when you're dealing with something like boxing and you're dealing with human beings, you know, we call it peddling in flesh. Even though you're paying them, it's still, you know, dealing in flesh, you know.
Wow.
People are life in general is very short and it's unpredictable, but life is more unpredictable than it is short. So you have to understand you're dealing with human beings, so you're dealing with the probability of anything happening. And you have to also know this about boxing. It's the only business in the world. It's the only business, legalized business, that everything is not always on top of the table. There's always something under the table.
Some secret shit going
There's
on.
always, it's not going to work.
Wow.
This is how it works.
And why is that in 2012 that, you know, boxing is still...
It should be taken over by the government, I believe.
You know, it doesn't have like a governing body like the NFL or the NBA.
Exactly. Just like, look, 50 Cent is this is like 50 is he's a rap star. 50 is an entertainer. 50 is a entrepreneur. And 50 don't really know the ins and outs of boxing. He knows probably what Floyd tells him. But once he gets in this arena,
it's a rap.
Once he gets in this arena, anybody that was ever his friend that's on the other side is his enemy. Their job is to totally decimate him financially and get him out of the business.
Yo, that's crazy.
All right, so now any fighters or anybody that's a possible, if they're not on your team, this is what it is. It's a gang. Boxing was developed from gangs. You know, the old Irish guys, old Dutch guys. It was a guy named Jim Bleacher.
Wow, I
and
heard
he
about that too.
Listen, and he always put his slash on his corner. So that's how we got the red and blue corner. But you know what the red means? That's my gang. That's the representation of the gang, my political gang. If I win this fight, like the ancient, if I win this fight against your champion, it's all gangs. Gangs. It's all originated from gangs. The whole world. If my gang wins this fight, we own the whole district until you get a champion that could beat my fighter. If you don't want to accept that challenge, my gang against your gang, then a lot of people die. So they pick their champion and his champion, and the red represents, and the blue, Democrat and Republican.
Get the fuck out of here.
And that was all.
Yeah, that's what the corners represent. No one knows that, but it represents Democrat and Republican.
Don King was set up by the elites to pimp out black young men of talent. He was set up and was told to say what he could say, to ridicule white folks, to make it seem like he's not a part of any slave holder or no one have chuckles on him. He became very believable to the ghetto kids, and he took them all for broke. Don King is nothing but a coon. And that's just the truth.
It's about humanity, people coming together, working together, living together, understanding each other with the word R-E-S-P-E-C-T, respect. Love you, baby.
I love you too.
Where do you stand on ending the private Federal Reserve banking system?
I stand on people getting an equal fair shake in America. And there's been the haves and the have-nots. It always have been. And so now what you people are doing, the young people that have the guts and the intestinal fortitude to love this country, you're fighting for change. And I support change. I support what you're doing in the manner in which you're doing it. And so when you say about the different things, I can't speak on what I don't understand, but I do understand poverty. I understand being poor. I understand being underprivileged. I understand discrimination, separation, segregation. I understand all of that. And so now if you can get everybody to come together that we can solve each of our problems, we're going to have a better America. Working together work. black and white alike.
Let's just have less Barack Obama change. We don't need that change. There is no change in that.
Well, you know, that is not so, because you got to understand something. Everything that Barack Obama did, he inherited. You got to understand, he just came
and
in,
expanded.
You talk about 18 months. No.
The war.
No, the biggest
the TARP
thing,
bankers.
No, he's bringing the troops home. They're saying about the troops now.
But sending out military contractors?
No, but listen, military contractors. What you're saying is but 400 years of promises everything and give us nothing. So, you know, you're getting caught up in the wrong thing, and your zeal to do what's right, you're getting misinformed and you're getting ill-informed. You got to understand now, this government is run by the people that you send to Washington to run the people.
Yeah.
The biggest statement this country made in the 200 years was to elect a black man.
Yeah, but he's keeping the same policies as George W. Bush. Keeping torture, expanding Afghanistan, expanding Libya.
No, but you see, you carry off with your emotion and your passion, and you're not thinking. Take an objective, dispassionate step back, and then go back and see what a miraculous job this America did. And so then you work for a better America to resolve the differences and to be able to cure the things that are incumbent in this nation where they have been dealing with the pork barrels and the different things. He didn't invent that. He was a slave. You know what I mean? He was a slave. Now don't take the slave and make the slave the victim. He's the victim, and you're going to make the victim the victimizer. If you say the country, if you say the presidency, then you can deal with it. But when you talk about a person about Barack Obama, that was one of America's miracles.
Mr. King.
Yes.
How is Obama stopping the war? What are you going to do to help us?
I know. Here's what I think. I think that the troops are coming home, and I think that the reason that you can demonstrate tonight and any other night is because of those troops.
They're fighting for profit. That's what they're
so
fighting
you got to be able to understand something. Fighting for those troops, you got to take care of our military because they ensure your safety and liberty. You know what I mean? Around the world. So now what we're going to do is to work to solve the grievances that we have here.
What are you going to do to help us?
We got to help ourselves. And how do we do that? By unity, solidarity, togetherness.
I'm unified with my brothers.
That's
right. Unified with my brothers.
All right, then let's make it happen. We will make it happen.
What are you going to do to help us?
We're going to do everything that we can, because I'm one of you. I'm with the masses.
No,
I
need
help
one of us. I
need help too. Don't tell me I ain't one of you.
You got millions of dollars, bro.
Well, wait a minute.
So he has millions. He ain't one of us?
You understand something now. Don't come to me about that, because listen, I didn't have nothing. You can tell it to the white man. You can't tell it to me. You know what I mean? Because I was poor than poor. You know what I'm saying? But I made it in this country. You can do it too. All right, so now that I'm trying to resolve it. Don't play the same game with me you play like you play with the man, because I understand the man.
Are you going to be out here?
I got a PhD. No, I don't understand it. I'm going to help you.
Get a pillow in the
I'm going to help you because I love you. I look at you, you look like me, and I feel good.
Join my brother.
I'm joining you.
Get a pillow in the seat and join us.
Hey, Don, why'd you rob Mike Tyson and Muhammad Ali like Barack Obama robbed us?
Because I love them. I love them, and I thought it was just so nice that they would give me an opportunity for me to make them rich so that I could rob them, because they were poor when they came to me, and there was nothing to rob.
Mike, I know that it was your fight that night that Tupac got shot at in Las Vegas. Can you just talk about the relationship you've had with Tupac, how that came about, and just how you felt about the whole ordeal?
All right, listen, I'm going to tell you, this is the first time I ever met Tupac. Magic Johnson was having a party at the Palladium here on Sunset.
Yeah.
And I had came out, and some friends of mine were blocking the door. They was holding the party, blocked the door. And it was a young kid, and I said, hey, man, what's up, shorty? It wasn't Tupac, though. And I think it was Shark G, and I said, I told my friend, man, come on, man, let this guy in. And he said, come on in, and the guy said, oh, excuse me? And he went back and he brought like 200 guys with him. Ooh. So we had to bring him around the back, and Tupac was one of those guys. And so I come in, and Tupac's on the mic. These guys done bullied the place, took the mic, and Tupac's rocking on the mic. And the whole place is going crazy. They're loving it, right? And then I met him, we were talking, just a young, shy kid. And I went to prison, and he wrote me a letter. Then he came and saw me. Then he explained to me who he was. I said, I remember you, you know. And probably was a year before that. And then remember, and that's how we became friends. He kept coming, talking. We talked on phones, and we cultivated our relationship.
That's awesome.
And we both say when we get out of here, because he was really wild. I said, man, when I'm coming out, you gonna be coming in, you know. And that's what happened. And man, we was always saying we're going to come out of prison, we're going to conquer the world. Everybody's going to know our name. We're going to shock them, and that's what happened. But, you know.
Hey, Mike, paint the picture for me. Where were you at when you got the message that Tupac had been shot and days later?
I was in my house. I was supposed to meet with him. But I just had a baby, and I'm a sucker, so I want to hang out with the baby and play with the baby and stuff, and trying to play the husband. I'm a good man, baby. Always in the kids and stuff. And then I heard the news. But I was supposed to join those guys. I wanted to hang out with them.
Really though?
Yes.
You were gonna hang out with them that night.
Yeah.
But you didn't even hang that night.
No.
I heard that. So when you get the call, the days that Tupac was in the hospital, did you try to go?
They wouldn't
go
let
see
nobody
him?
go up there.
I heard that, man. And what about when you actually got the news that Tupac had passed? Do you remember where you were, or just?
I was home. I was in my house, and I was like everyone else. It was just overwhelming, And we lost somebody special. We lost somebody that was pretty reckless, but the world still loved him. Right. He was just a human being. We all had people in our family who just pushed the envelope a little too damn far.
Right.
And we got to keep an eye on them, but we still loved them.
Hey, Mike, and knowing Tupac, and I knew Pac also. Do you know how there's some cats you like, man, if he would have just, people didn't know how intelligent he was, or do you think that if he would have just made it out of that, like that would have been a small portion of his life, like there was a portion of your life, if you would have passed during that time, we would have never seen the Mike Tyson that evolved after. Do you feel like you wish, of course with life, but do you feel like people could have seen the part of Pac that you've seen and what could have become of Tupac?
Well, listen, we all have our own relationship with God, our personal relationship with God, and when He calls, we go.
Right.
That's just what it is. I'm not clairvoyant. I can't see the future, but we all know Tupac was special. Maybe his anger or something was misguided, but we know it all meant well. Mm-hmm. And we just knew that even when he was blurring curses, F this and filth and filth and filth and filth and filth and filth, and we know his pain, and we know this is a good person. He'll do anything. He'll come to your show. He's the biggest star in the rapping. He'll come to your show for free and perform.
Yeah, man. He don't know who you are. He don't even know. He just saw you with a friend of his before and charge you nothing.
It was a freak accident. Mike Tyson's daughter, Exodus, pronounced dead late Tuesday morning. She had reportedly been playing near a treadmill in the family's Phoenix home when she was choked by the machine's cord. Tyson rushed to the hospital to see her.
I'm sure she was scared and suffering, and these are terrible things for any parent to think about their child going through.
Police now say the exercise equipment that proved fatal for the 4-year-old was not even turned on. She apparently was strangled by the unplugged electrical cord.
Roger, do we know if the child was actually on the treadmill running?
Yeah, Larry, I can help the doctor out with that one. Apparently, the treadmill was not plugged in. It was unplugged at the time, according to statements from the mom and from a forensic interview with the child. So what happened was, we believe the child was on the treadmill, but it was not running at the time. She might have been playing like it was, and at some point got underneath that console, which if you get on your knees underneath the treadmill and look up, you can see what I'm talking about.
Tyson was in Las Vegas at the time of the accident. Once he got to Phoenix, he spent the final moments at his daughter's side here at St. Joseph's Hospital. Iron Mike Tyson shook up the boxing world in 1986, becoming heavyweight boxing's youngest undisputed champion ever, and many of his opponents never made it past the first round.
And he's down again. I was coming to destroy and win the heavyweight championship of the world, which I'd done.
But his success in the ring was quickly overshadowed by Tyson's tumultuous personal life. By 1991, his marriage to Robin Givens was crumbling under accusations of abuse.
He's got a side to him that's scary. Michael is intimidating, to say the least. I think that there's a time when he cannot control his temper, and that's frightening.
In 1992, Tyson was convicted of raping 19-year-old beauty queen Desiree Washington and served 3 years in prison. And when he returned to the ring in 1997, more controversy. He was disqualified for biting off part of Evander Holyfield's ear.
You can see it. You can see it.
His behavior remained erratic. He got a tattoo on his face. And by 2003, Tyson was bankrupt, claiming to have squandered away nearly $300 million. And in 2006, he was arrested for drug possession.
May I have your full name?
But recently, this self-described tortured soul had been getting his life on track. A new documentary put him back in the spotlight, garnering rave reviews from critics.
Voices fighting each other. Madness.
I can't lose. I refuse to lose.
He says the film has forced him to look at the person he was.
I still deal with his demons. I look at that guy and some of my outbursts in the movie, some of my episodes, and I become, I'm afraid of that guy.
In a recent interview with MTV, he spoke about the important role family now plays in his life.
I look forward now to some grandkids one day. You know what I mean? I'm really trying to work into recreating my relationship and rebuilding my relationship with my children. I neglected people I was in love with at one time and stuff, and I'm getting the blunt of it right now.
A regret and realization that makes this tragedy even more devastating for the man once called Iron Mike.
Something happened in your life.
And then, with no warning, all the emotion he hides on stage came gushing out as he told me about the death of his 4-year-old daughter on May 26, 2009, a day that not only left him shattered, but also out of his mind.
This is my best thinking at the time. Get my gun, automatic, just like this, and just go crazy.
Who are you gonna hurt?
Regardless, that's just my first thought. But when I went to the hospital, the people that were there, they're up there because their kids are dead too, or about to die. So, who the hell am I? Their kids are dying too. I don't know. No. It's something happened that day. I don't know what happened that day.
But whatever happened that day, was there a new Mike Tyson that came the next day?
No, I did some cocaine for a week. I had to get high. I had to back then. I had to get high. I couldn't handle it at all. You have to go. No, you understand, right? Thank you. Thank you, man. You want to take this stuff off?
As I mentioned to you earlier in the broadcast, we at HBO Sports have covered Mike Tyson for the past 4 years, bringing you every one of his fights since before he won the heavyweight championship. We believe we have profiled him and reported on him in virtually every way, shape, and form possible through a relationship which has not always been completely friendly. In fact, we're in the middle of a period right now in which things are not all peaches and cream between our longtime colleague Mike Tyson and those of us at HBO. So with an eye toward that, we decided to look for fresh eyes and ears, an independent perspective on Tyson as we get ready for this look at him. And we have acquired the services of America's most provocative filmmaker, award-winning Spike Lee, who came to Atlantic City and went to Brooklyn also with a 35mm film camera to produce a profile of Mike Tyson for us. Spike, thanks very much for doing this. Welcome to our broadcast. What was your perspective and your intention as you began this project for us?
Well, what we wanted to do is just record what Mike and Don had to say. I felt that they would be very comfortable with us, knowing me, that they would let their defenses down, because a lot of times we have to be careful what the media's, or how the media's can portray them, and we just wanted to document that. And we just rolled the camera. That's what we did. We shot in 35mm black and white, and we approached it as if we were making a film.
You have said publicly that you regard yourself as a friend and a fan of Mike Tyson's.
Right.
Is this journalism or advocacy?
It's both. I'm not going to lie. I think that Mike and Don have got pummeled in the press a lot, and if I could help them, you know, not really change their image, I think that there are a lot of people look at this piece and still not like them, but I think that they have to make up their own minds.
We're going to talk to Spike again after you have seen what you're about to see. But we want to make this clear that this was Spike's baby. We interfered in no way, shape, or form after we gave Spike the chance to bring a 35mm camera here and to Brooklyn for this profile of Mike Tyson.
I'm not afraid of anything. I'm not afraid of anything. There's nothing that I'm afraid of, you know what I mean? And that's why I'm the individual that I am. You know what I mean? I walk it like I talk it. From where I came from, I'm not supposed to even have made it. I'm not supposed to even be living.
My name is Victor Nelson. So what's up? Ain't nothing. Well, I live right here in 178, and I knew Mike for about 12 years, and grew up together. And,
What neighborhood is this?
This is Brownsville, Amboy. Yeah, he had to knock that punch ever since he was young.
You ever seen him knock somebody out on the street?
Yeah, I used to have him knock people out for me.
Yeah?
Yeah. So now he's getting paid to knock people out. That's good for him. I like that.
That's my brother. Let's do the right thing. That's all he has.
How's Mike look?
Mike looks excellent, man. He's in good shape, good frame of mind. If you don't stand for something, you don't live for nothing.
So he's ready, right?
He's been ready. Ready sharp. He knocked out 3 sparring partners, all in one day.
Couldn't hurt now.
Oh man, they're changing them like, going in and out like a slot machine. But Joe List said you can run, but you can't hide. So all we gotta do is bring the prophecy to those words to reality. Ali got me into boxing. I was in Spofford, that's a juvenile place in the Bronx. When Ali came up there, and when I saw him, I said, I want to be champion of the world. I want to be just like him. Everyone can't be Michael Jordan, a world heavyweight champion, all that, or else, a brain surgeon, which probably I could be, though. But,
You be a brain surgeon?
I could, Spike, man. Every ethnic group takes pride in their heroes. We have no heroes. Our heroes die. White heroes never die. They live infinitely. The John Waynes and the different things, but Marvin Gaye, one of the superheroes of our time, you don't hear about him, but Elvis Presley has earned more money in death than most niggas can earn in life. Mike Tyson is our hero. He's our knight in shining armor. When he strikes a blow for all those who are discriminated against, all those who are segregated against, all those who are the downtrodden, the underprivileged, and denied. He fights like a gladiator, like our white brothers can appreciate. This guy comes to fight. He comes naked with his shoes on. He's a gladiator. He signifies what he's about. I don't blame Holyfield and Buster Douglas for hating him because I was taught to hate Don King when I was in the business. Everything's totally against us. We're 2 black guys from the ghetto and we're hustling and they don't like what we're saying, you know what I mean? We're not like prejudiced, anti-white. We're just pro-black. I love white people. I love them like they love me. Here you have a young man named Mike Tyson who has been a very credible champion, a credible challenger, and now is waiting his turn again. What they're trying to do is to get a groundswell of public opinion to avert and circumvent ever fighting Mike Tyson. They want him, number one, to either defect from me, because he's being represented by a black man, or number 2, they want him to get frustrated and exasperated so that he will self-destruct. They always change the rules when black folks come into success. Black success is unacceptable. They say, things are getting so much better for you. In 1849, they was hitting blacks on the head 100 times a day. In 1990, they hit them 48 times a day. Isn't it better? Oh, it's got to be better. You've saved 52 blows. You got to understand that white America has an uncanny way of making the victim the victimizer. Excuse me, master, for putting my head in the way of your club. Not that your club is brutalizing my head and putting hickeys on it. My head got in the way of your free swing and broke your shiny stick, and I want to apologize for that. Cut this a minute. Cut. The way people portray me in the press, those guys, if they had the nerve, they'd be just like me. They're superstars, and regardless of their fields, they want to be able to say, the white man's kicking my ass, but they don't got the guts, The reason they don't got the guts because their minds have been suppressed, Like most fighters in general, when you think about the issue, they're whores to the system. They don't know. They have no concept of what's going on in the business. The only thing they know is put on gloves. Most fighters going to wind up broke, and that's something that's going to continue to happen as long as the game is here, because boxing is the only sport that's unorganized, You don't have to be a college professor, Guys, lawyers, get out of their field. They retire from their field, the law field, and come into boxing because they feel that's the easy way they can make $1 because they could pimp the fighters.
You gotta speak up, Mike, so we hear you.
Talking. We're gonna play this game called basketball today, okay?
Right.
Most of you know how to play this better than me, so we're gonna try to do something. What you want me to dunk on your money? Come on, man. You can't dunk no boy. I know you a boxer. Do what you can do. Do it. If I gotta play, you want me to do? What you want me to do? What you want me to do?
If you make this shot, you can have Michael Jordan.
All right. take off my coat.
Trying to get some birds to come over here. They must not be hungry anymore.
Yeah, that's right. Feed the birds. This is fantastic. Another war, man, inside and outside the ring, but we shall continue to prevail. Working together works. Well, you and I together, undeniably, is a combination that's unbeatable.
I love it when Jews love the Jews. I think that's noble. Italians love Italians. When Irish love Irish. But when a nigga loves a nigga, it's an unpardonable sin. We can't be white. You're a nigga till you die. If you're a poor nigga, you're a poor nigga. If you're a rich nigga, you're a rich nigga. But you never stop being a nigga. And if you get to be educated, you're just an educated nigga. You understand? Depravity, poverty, ignorance, lecherousness, lewdness, evil. Everything that was negative and unholy was attributed to the black people. And everything that was holy and glorified was attributed to the white people. The money, the wealth, the power, and with the blacks is the powerlessness that we have to be able to deal with against the power. You got to understand that negative associations coupled with blackness is what make these things happen. It's been a condition of racism since this country was founded 400 years ago. Because working together works.
Go ahead. And I refuse, you know what I mean, to be like the rest of the brothers, you know what I mean? They evaluate their success by how far they can get away from the other niggas. They say, well, ooh, I live in Beverly Hills, there's a number of white people around my neighborhood, so I know I'm successful. You know what I mean? That's cool, you know what I mean? If you want an ego, you want that on your address, you know, this is where I live, and you tell them go back. But go back to the neighborhood and tell the brothers, this is where I live at, man, come see me. You know what I mean? Don't just say, well, this is where I want to be and this is where I'm staying, I want to stay away, I want to meet the friends around the neighborhood. You know what I mean? Because that's not reality. That's not reality at all. And reality, you know, means a lot to me because I live it. I know who I am and I know what I represent. And I'm happy with myself, you know what I mean? I'm happy with who I am. What happened to this money? They don't show no account of what happened to this 45 million or this 20 million, and now all of a sudden I'm hiding money. And if I was hiding money, and if it's my money, I haven't stolen it, isn't it my business to do what I want with it? Which I know that I'm a great fighter. So they say, God, he's a great fighter. People admire him for that, but let's put him like he's a great fighter, but he's dumb and he's stupid. So, you know what I mean? He's nobody to look up to. But because that's okay, because only time will tell. I mean, that's just time will tell.
You mentioned Don King. What about Don King?
No, Don King is just like anyone else. Anybody else that's in big business. He's competitive. He competes with them. You know what I mean? He's the best at what he does. Whatever it is. If it's, you know what I mean? He broke all the records, all the P.T. Barnum, Ziegfeld records. He, you know what I mean? He breaks all those records. And he's ornery and he's arrogant. You know what I mean? He says he's not under control. You don't control him. You can't say, well, Don, you take this and you do this, but you got to take. You know what I mean? He wants the American way. He wants to get the equal share of the pie.
Does he take advantage of you?
Everyone uses someone. He uses me. I uses him. The worst thing, we never misuse one another. We respect one another. I never cut it. Don is my man, and that's what it is to it.
Does that automatically mean that she's agreed to have sex with you?
Oh, absolutely not. Absolutely not. See, this was a situation where we had discussed things that were going to happen, what we were planning on doing, you know what I mean? And we have discussed something. It's just something that's been discussed and planned. And you say, well, since she's going out, she has to do it. She can't eat a free meal. You give me like that ghetto mentality. Of course, like when I'm stereotyped, she can't get a free meal without giving me something or something like that, which is, you know what I mean, it's just perverted. What you even saying that to me. You know what I mean?
She has told her version publicly on television. Then let me just ask you to tell me, as you recollect, what happened that night?
I called her. I think she was tired or something. I said, don't worry about it. Just comb your hair and put water in your face. And I asked her to wear something short, like a short dress or some wide, loose, baggy shorts. And she came in the car, we kissed, and we were making out, okay? Fooling around. And then we drove right around the corner to my hotel room. We got out of my hotel room, we went upstairs, and we went in my room. So when I closed the door, we went in my room. We sat on my bed. She sat on my bed in somewhat of a Buddha position, you know, when the legs are crossed. And she was talking, and we started kissing. And she started pulling off her clothes. She was getting hot. She was getting aggressive. And I started, we had oral sex, and then eventually we had vaginal sex. And after it was over, I invited her to stay. I said, because I'm tired, perhaps, because you had to get up at around 5 or 6, and I had to leave at approximately 2 hours. We both had the same schedule approximately, but she didn't want to do, but she wanted me to walk her downstairs, and I didn't want to walk her. I said, well, my limo's down, so you could take the limo, but I'm sorry, I'm tired, and I have to get up, and I just can't walk you. Maybe I should have just walked her downstairs or something. We should never cry over spilled milk, of course, but maybe I should have just walked her downstairs, you know, it's Christ. And the next week I heard about this.
And you're saying that she never said no?
Oh, absolutely.
Now, she said that I hit him, I cried, I did anything to get him to stop, nothing worked.
Oh, right, really, please. You know what I mean? Come on, that wasn't true. In a hotel room, in the middle of the night, where you know walls probably echo because it's so quiet, you know, and she screamed, and then she's gonna say she's in shock. She walked downstairs. Evidently, me, the person, you know what I mean, she told me she's been sheltered, please. And if anybody would attack me, as soon as I get out in the hallway, I'm gone. I lost it. I'm in the twilight zone. Woo, help, yes, help, right here, knocking on people's doors. Coming, this guy's right in here. Please help me, or whatever. You know what I mean? That's absurd. Well, I'm scared because he's Mike Tyson. That's, I mean, because they insult the American intelligence, you know what I mean, to believe something like that. You know, this is something, I mean, that you don't have to be F. Lee Bailey. You know what I mean? You don't have to be F. Lee Bailey at all to decipher the bull crap. You know what I mean? And it upsets me so much because there's people out there, you know what I mean, that have that kind of mentality, you know what I mean, that will believe something. You know what I mean? It just is, it's astonishing that what people believe.
They come after you as much as you go after them.
Please, guys, this is something I don't even have to explain to you. You know what I mean? People know who I am, and people know I have money, and people know I'm young. You know what I mean? So they put the two together: young, black, single, with money, usually by himself, never protective, because that's the kind of guy. I'm always loose. I'm like, and that's dangerous because you gotta use that with the same stereotype as the sheep that flocks away from the crowd, and he's out there, now he's alone. Now the wolves could trap him off, corner him off, and kill him. And that's how my situation was. I'm a loner, and that's my only downfall, because that's my nature. I'm always alone. I'm always moving.
You think women used you or tried to use you?
Of course they did, but look, I looked at it from the standpoint, you know what I mean? I was young, you know what I mean? I wanted to have fun. I enjoyed having fun. And maybe I took it further. Maybe me wanting to be with some girl or make love to a girl, whatever. Do that, but they probably had something different, you know what I mean? I had in my mind what I wanted, but they never let me know what they wanted. You know what I mean? So maybe that's my fault for not knowing, not saying, well, what do you want from this situation?
You say people who don't know you, people form impressions about you. Here's a guy who is strong, who's black, who's uneducated, who's a heavyweight champion. He thinks he can have whatever he wants. How do you respond to people who look at you and think that that's true? 90%, 80% of the people believe what they read. And, I mean, that has a big effect on people. If they ever got a chance to know me, they would think differently. They would think totally differently. They would know I'm just like everyone. I like to play, I like to fool around, I like to chew fat. You know what I mean? It's like I do basically any young 25-year-old do. I used to all my life. That's the way I am. I'm just normal. And that's why I'm in trouble, because I'm normal and slightly arrogant. You know what I mean? I get a little arrogant because I'm confident. You know, I know whatever I do, I know I'm the best at it. You know, and people get upset with that. But, you know what I mean? That's a part of me which a lot of people don't like, because a lot of people don't like themselves, and I happen to be totally in love with myself. What do you think is your immediate future?
I basically, I just keep, you know what I mean, go live day by day and wait for the, you know what I mean, see where the chips drop. I might not even want to box. I've been bored with boxing for 4 years already. I might not even want to fight anymore once I get out.
You think about that?
No, I never think about fighting. Never.
You think if you got out, when you get out, you just give it out?
Yeah.
What would you do?
Huh? I would do something. Cause I'm always going to be on top. Whatever I do, I'm going to be on top of my game. I'm never going to be under drowning. I'm always going to be above sea level.
But the boxing gave you something else that you didn't have.
You must understand. I'm basically, regardless of what you see, money. I'm just Mike. You know what I mean? I'm Lorna Mae's son's Manboy Street. I'm not. You know, I don't get caught up into a big star and all. You know, that's the furthest thing from my mind. You know what I mean? I don't like living like that. So maybe I don't think I want to be a big star no more, if that's what they call me. I don't think I want that no more, because I don't like living like that. I don't like living where everybody, which I found out here is true, everybody's a potential enemy. Everybody's potential to hurt you, to want something from you. I don't like that kind of life, because I'm just a normal person.